But I did it anyway because I know that I am favored by God, and I know that I asked him and I prayed when I started this program for him to show me signs that I am on the right path, and that I am following his will for my life, because I don't want to keep investing in something that he has not even called me to be, the place that I was in. And so I ended up applying. So there's multiple stages to this application. You do your primaries, you get invited to do your secondaries, and then you get invited to interview, and then you get in your final decision. And so I did the primary application, and I got invited to do the secondary application. And so within the secondary application, you kind of tell them why you want to be a doctor. You tell them why that school and all the things. And so, I worked really hard on that application. I poured my heart into it. I talked about how my family inspired me, how my grandmother instilled a love for school in me, and so many things about how my church, growing up in a community like this, has helped me to see how important community is and how important it is to invest back into the people that matter and to the people that look like us. And so I put all of that in my secondary application. And then on January 21st of this year, I got an email, and it said that they had completed the review of my application, and they had a limited number of slots available, and unfortunately I was not selected. And it broke my heart. I was really emotional that day. I called my mom crying because I had already been struggling with feeling behind and feeling like I was in a delayed period. And even though I could still apply like regular cycle in a few months, I just still felt like that sense of urgency, of pressure that that I'm sure so many of us in our 20s feel, that pressure to like get your life together and stuff. So I was feeling that, and it just really got to me. And I cried that day, but then the very next day I was back on it, and I was like, I know that God is faithful, and if it's not now, it'll be later, but it'll happen no matter what. So I got right back. I went right back to doing my schoolwork. I went right back to going to class every day. Like nothing happened. I congratulated the people who got it, and I kept it pushing. And so on January 28th, exactly 7 days after I got that email, exactly 7 days, I was walking to class. I had just gotten to school, and I just happened to check my email, and it was an email from the school, and it said, after careful reconsideration, didn't make it to class. I'm telling y'all, I almost didn't make it to class. Whew. I literally screamed in that parking garage. I almost didn't make it to class, but so they reconsidered my application, and I really want to take a moment, because this part of this was the most life-changing for me. No matter, this is just for the interview. So they reconsidered me for the interview. This isn't even an acceptance, but it meant so much to me, because number one, I went and I showed my advisors the email, and they wanted to reach out to the school, because they were like, we have never seen them do this before, ever. And so I was, a little shooken up, because I'm like, is this a mistake? But God. So I just, this this meant everything to me because I knew that God let this happen this way so that I knew that it was nobody but him. It was no man on this earth but him. It was nobody but him. My mom, when I told her, my mom, all my family was encouraging me, but my mom was like, God didn't let them people sleep well at night. He was like, y'all got tossing and turning because y'all made a mistake. But I was so thankful. I didn't even care if I got the acceptance, because that right there told me everything that I needed to know about what God's plan is for my life. It told me everything I needed to know. And so I worked hard and I did the interview, and the interview was not easy. It was tough. They sat there and they drilled me, like everything that I know, and I believe that if God carried me this far, he's gonna keep carrying me. And so, I held my ground. I was honest, and I told them the truth, and I let them see me because I know that God is in me. And so I did the interview, and on April 1st, we were supposed to get our final decisions. But again, 7 days later, we got our final decision, and in my email, on behalf of our Committee on Admissions, I have great pleasure in offering you an invitation to join the 2025 entering MD class at Moore. All I want to say is they tried to count me out, but God said, not my child. He said, not my child. And I wanted to share this testimony because I want anyone who is looking for a sign from God, looking for some encouragement, to start making sacrifices or to push toward their goals, that God will show you. He will work miracles on your behalf to make whatever gift and dream that he put in you come to fruition. He will. I promise you, if you stay faithful, if you put in the work, there is nothing that no man can say.
That's it. Come on.
To distract you, to get you off the plan that God has for your life. Please be encouraged, because I promise y'all, I have faced every different type of doubt, every different type of delay, so many things to where I could have just given up, but I persisted because I knew that God put a gift in me. And you know you have that gift that God put in you. Never give up. It does not matter how long it takes. Do not give up on what God has placed in you, because it will come to pass.
It will come to pass. It will come to pass. It will come to pass. Listen, this testimony is for anyone that's ever received a no. I ain't talking about you're still waiting on a decision. I'm talking about those who have received a no. I want you to understand that reconsideration is your portion. And that God will cause individuals to be troubled in their sleep. They won't sleep and they'll wake up and they'll walk the floor and they won't even understand why. But I want you to understand that God knows who to tap on the shoulder and cause them to reconsider your application. Reconsider you for the job. Reconsider you for school. Reconsider you for the business. No matter what it is, here's the key. Here's the key. Guys, do you want to know what the key is? This is the key. key. She kept preparing. She went back to school. She went the next day to class. She kept moving forward. You got to keep preparing like you know it's coming. You got to keep preparing like you know they're going to change their mind. You got to keep preparing like no matter what happens, you know if God be for you, he is more than those that are against you. The question is, do you believe God? That's the question. Because if you believe God, your actions will prove it out. If you believe God, you'll keep going to class. You'll keep writing the paper. You'll keep doing the work. You got to believe God. The question is, when men say no, do you believe man or do you believe God? We get ready to pray. Because she takes the MCAT on May 15th. 8 hour. It's an 8-hour test. 250 questions. You come on up here. Come on. Yeah, I want that. You come on. That. I want that right there. That's dripping on that. That's what I want. Listen, let me say this so you won't be offended. Because I'm going to call some people up here that I know can get a prayer through God. And that's no shade against you. But we ain't got time to play in pity pat. So Jen, Elder Jen,